I'm back. Good morning from Vermont. Walking through some muddy section here. Woo, squishy. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Not a super early start, but that's okay. It's going to be a long day. Some big miles, hopefully. It's just going to really depend on the terrain and the weather. It rained pretty much all day yesterday, and it's supposed to rain today, but off and on, some storms coming, so just gonna have to keep an eye on everything. Obviously don't want to be out in lightning, but planning on some big miles today. I think like 27 or 28 miles from where I am, which is Kelly Strand Drive or something like that, which is on the south side of Stratton Mountain. But 27, 28 miles is only like 5,300 feet of elevation, which is pretty low for that amount of miles. So I'm hoping that that's where I get to today, but if I don't, I don't. But I plan for some pretty big miles. Being back on the trail today for the first time in 3 weeks. For those who might not know, I was off trail getting healed up from Lyme, doing the whole course of doxycycline and getting healed up. But as I got stronger, I kept the body moving, jogging, and doing a lot of jogging in high heat, and up to about 10 miles a day. Some of that was walking, wasn't all jogging and running, but did a little climbing, not much during that time because I was wanting to heal. So that fine line of keeping the body moving, keeping strong, but at the same time letting the body heal. And then, well, you all know about this tooth. If you don't, I broke that out right before I started on the AT. I was going to wait till I finished my through hiking for the year of both the AT and the PCT before I got that fixed with a crown or a bridge, whatever needs to happen there. But I had another tooth on the bottom at the back that actually gave me a little bit of problems when I first started this year with some pain. And then it went away, then it came back. And then it went away and came back again. The pain, parts of the teeth were chipping away, so it needed to be taken care of. And I was trying to keep an eye on it, but you know me, being a stubborn guy, I walk through just about anything unless it's dangerous for my health. Like Lyme, needed to get off. That last day of being out here, or well, the next to last day of being out here, was pretty rough on me. After I'd already taken 4 or 5, 6 days, whatever it was, during the first course of the antibiotics. And then I came back out here and did about 19 miles, and it was horrible. I was so sick, so tired. My breathing and heart rate was all off from still having Lyme and the course of the antibiotics as well. So I had to get off for that. But usually I'll go through anything, and I've been hiking through teeth pain pretty much from the beginning, at least off and on in the beginning, then pretty much every day. Dousing myself with Oragel and continuing on. Well, I decided while I was off that needed to get taken care of because it was getting a little worse and more constant. So I got a tooth extraction as well down here at the bottom. And I'm a bleeder. When it comes to teeth getting pulled or anything being done to my teeth, I bleed for a couple days, while most people are pretty much done bleeding that first day. So that took a couple days while I was there healing up from Lyme, get that taken care of as well. But I didn't want any distractions for this final push, this final finale, down to about 550 miles, close to it, a little bit more than that right now, but getting really close to that mark where here in a few miles, that great milestone that I'm looking forward to. Should be talking about it on this video. But climbing right now up Stratton Mountain. Like I said, going to be doing some pretty big days here coming up. It's funny how people say, oh, you won't be doing that many miles when you get to the Smokies. You won't be doing that many miles when you get here or there. You won't be doing that many miles when you get up to New Hampshire and New England. Just so you know, the only way I don't get the kind of miles that I want every day is if I choose not to get them. It's really that simple. I'm not saying that to be egotistical, just y'all should know this by now. I needed to get through a certain section of the Smokies because of an ice storm coming. So I pushed and did 29 miles in a day. It's just who I am. 20 miles is like a beginning of a day for me. When I get up to 25, 30, feels like a good fulfilled day. More like in the 25 area, not so much 30. I'm happy doing marathons. I'll put it that way. Doing marathons like 25, 26 miles a day. It's kind of my sweet spot of where I feel like it was a good day, but not too much and so forth. However, I will stop based on weather, or slow down, or not slow down to do less miles or whatnot. And I'm not stupid. I'm not saying the whites are not going to be tough. However, unless, it behooves me because of weather and needing to stop at an area or speed up in an area to beat out storms or beat out bad weather, so forth, I will do that. I'm very observant and very much pay attention to my surroundings and what's going on to make sure that happens. So, that being said, I plan on doing some big miles in this finale to finish up the trail for the year, especially since I got off for 3 weeks. I don't like the bubble. I don't like crowds. I don't want to be anywhere near it. So I'm just going to keep cruising, try to stay as far ahead of it as I can. No offense to anybody who's in the bubble. I just choose to hike as solo as I can. Just better for me. Very few people that I like to hike around for long periods of time. Again, nothing personal. I just have my own little pace. I go fast, I do video, and then I slow down. Just never know. Not easy for somebody else to keep up with or whatnot. Caused a little bit of stressful situation. I haven't talked to y'all for 3 weeks, so I'm going to be doing some rambling today. But anyway, I said all that to say, people are like, oh, you're going to slow down in the whites. You're going to come to a crawl. I'm not coming to a crawl in the whites. I'm not super fast. Not saying that. But I'll hike longer days. It is summer. The days are quite a bit longer. And if not, then I hike at night or hike it early in the morning. Just who I am. I want to have like that at least 20-mile average as much as possible, unless weather just really jacks me up. I want to have like a 20-mile average going out like I like to do in these last 550 miles. Just based on the time I want to get it done for the time I need to do other things and obligations that I have. So, that being said, I think I covered everything. In a nutshell, I'm back. And I'm every bit as strong as I was, maybe stronger. Coming back. I will admit, my backpack is heavy right now with all the food I have in there. But that's okay, I digress. I will eat that food rather quickly. Climbing up Stratton right now. It's going to be a great and beautiful day. There's supposed to be rain coming today. And just don't know when or how much or how long. But we'll find out. Thanks for everybody joining me. Being back on the AT after a 3-week hiatus. Now let's go conquer. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. And I'm on a mission, I'm back. And I'm going fishing for the mountaintop, and I'm back. And I'm on a mission, I'm back. And I'm going fishing, I'm back. For the mountaintop, and I'm back. Still climbing Stratton. It's there's a little brightness there, but besides that, it has gotten extremely dark. Got cloudy, got the breeze kicked up a little bit. It's coming and going. It's gust, not constant anything, maybe 2 or 3 miles an hour constant, but it gusts up to 15 or 20. Nothing bad, but Definitely seems like there might be some storms or rain in the air, so see what happens on that. Kind of looked like the weather has changed several times in the last, I don't know, 24 hours. The weather report, I should say, was going to rain all day and start tapering off as the afternoon came. And then it looked like it wasn't going to rain much at all, maybe a little bit in the morning. And then it changed to all day. And as of this morning, it was going to hold off till like 11 and go till about 5 or 6 with the chance of storms, but not a constant rain. So more spotty pop-ups. I'm ready for whatever it brings though, but the wind feels good, and I love a good dark forest, that's for sure. It's one of my favorite things about the PNW, actually. Everything is always so dark when you're in a forest because it's so dense with the pine trees and all the vegetation. And this is definitely like that. A lot of pines and beautiful vegetation. This is the office. Whew, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Loving being back. Loving being back. I can't say that enough. It's bittersweet a little bit too, but more on that some other time. But right now, I'm just enjoying being in nature and climbing the mountains. Absolutely gorgeous. Almost to the summit of Stratton Mountain. Beautiful views on the way up. Sometimes big rocks, sometimes some of those smaller rocks that are different colored. I don't know, like size of the hand, size of stones or rocks. The trail's just beautiful. Lots of green, fog comes and goes. Nice and dense, really dark. Absolutely beautiful. The higher I get here, the more it's cooling down, so that helps because I am pouring sweat, soaked from head to toe, because it's very humid out. Even though it's not raining right now, it's very wet in the air, so probably fighting that all day long. Feeling strong though, just barely into the day though, close to 4 miles, and not even a couple hours, so a little bit more video in this beginning part than usual to start the day, but that's okay. There hasn't been a video for a while, so hopefully you're enjoying the beautiful, dense forest here of Vermont this morning. Standing on the summit of Stratton Mountain. Pretty good climb, nothing too strenuous today. A little bit of rocks, a little bit of slippery, but no scrambling or anything. Beautiful views though this morning. Even though it's foggy and socked in, so there's no point of climbing the tower. I'm already at the summit, and there's not gonna be any more views up there than there is right here. It is socked in up here. Beautiful, beautiful start to the day. And Stratton Mountain is in the bag. Really nice descent coming down from Stratton on the north side. Very gradual, some rocks, but not much at all. Like right here is about the most it ever gets, and then it goes back to being just dirty, muddy, but not deep mud like a lot of Vermont has. It's just wet dirt, basically. Nice traction. The roots and rocks are obviously still slick, but it's not bad on the knees at all. Just a beautiful descent. And obviously that fog went away after coming off the top, the summit, and then turns to sunshine here down below. So that nice breeze, probably about 70, low 70s. Just beautiful right now, I'm telling you. I mean, it might be partially because I'm back. You never know. Something about being back in the forest and on the mountains after not really getting to be in it too much over the last few weeks, as I was healing up with Lyme and getting a somewhat abscessed tooth pulled, and the antibiotics and all that kind of limited what I could do outside. Something about being out here though, after that, hits even better. It's my home, man. I'm telling you, being not Vermont, the mountains, it's my home. If you know anything about fortune, you know being in the mountains is what I'm all about. I am a true blue mountain man. Nothing brings me peace quite as much as being in the mountains and climbing the mountains and standing on top. That defines fortune for sure. The sun is going in and out behind some clouds. Supposed to be some storms here in a few hours. Chances of, not horribly bad chances, like 50%, I think, up through like about 6 o'clock. So see what happens. But for right now, this weather is beautiful for hiking. I'm soaked just from the humidity and everything climbing Stratton. So this breeze feels great, and that sun will help dry me out a little bit before I start climbing again. after descending Stratton, probably 3 or 4 miles later, you enter into an area called the Lyme Wilderness. And I'm telling you, this is one cruisy section. It has little S curves, so it slows you down a little bit. But oh my goodness, the trail, hardly any rocks, hardly any roots, little ups and downs. And when I say little, I mean like 5 feet here and there. It's just pretty flat. Come across a river and some streams, I believe, up here. And a couple more miles to the other side of the wilderness. And it looks like it's pretty much at this elevation the whole time. So this is definitely one of those sections you get to catch up on some miles and some time for sure. I'm not silly enough to believe that it's going to be like this for the rest of Vermont. But I definitely will take it right now. Definitely, I like to climb my mountains, but I like this kind of trail too to make up some time. So that's what I'm doing right now. A little warm, probably low 70s. Not too bad, but still sweating. How about that graceful trip? I'm gonna stop up here and get some water. Time to fill up the water bottles again and see how long it stays cruisy like this. That water's pretty brown. Oh, it's so beautiful here. Goodness. Currently at 1,651 miles on the Appalachian Trail. That means there is 546 miles to go, which means I have crossed over the 3/4 mile mark. 1/4 of the trail left, actually less now. There is no marker here. I kept going a couple miles hoping I would run into some sort of marker. I did not. That's not going to stop me from doing my celebration dance. Heck no. And 3/4, 75% of my Appalachian Trail through hike is in the bag. And the trail has become a road. Definitely some standing water here from all the rain, but it hasn't been that bad on the creeks and rivers water crossing today. So it must have been a little under what it normally is, or a little bit dry, because I think it was about 1/2 inch to 1 inch in most places yesterday in this area. So good little rainfall, but not enough to really raise the water too bad. There was actually a couple water crossings that was dry, so must be going through a little bit of a drought here right now. This year, or this time last year, this place was all completely flooded. I think it broke records for the amount of water and flooding in any year on the AT. So quite a bit different as of right now. It's not over yet though. I'm hoping that I could get through the rest of the AT without any flooding, because I'm not big on water crossings that go up to my waist. I'm just not. It's just the way it is. All right, coming up close to Prospect Rock here soon.
Second time though.
Yeah, it is. Back on the AT on actual trail. Looks like a little bit of climbing here. Where that road that probably went on for a mile or a mile and a half or so, maybe even 2 miles. I don't know, I didn't even look, but it went on for a while. And obviously I'm cruising on something like that. But right where it splits back to the AT and that road continues down to a trailhead, right there is Prospect Rock, just a little short 100 yards or so off the trail. So went and checked that out. That's what that video clip was for you. A couple guys up there, a son and his dad, getting some sun rays. So just wanted to shoot a quick video while I was up there. And the guy was asking me, because he's seen both of my AT, little trip there. I stayed on my feet though. But he was saying second time, meaning because he's seen 2 of my AT badges on the back of my backpack. Tags, not badges. So he knew that I did it last year and this year, according to that. So I talked about that for a couple minutes after I stopped the video clip, and then continued on. Still a lot of miles to go today in this mild but warm and humid day. Pretty sunny and pretty clear though. So but Prospect Rock, that's looking over Manchester. That's what you've seen down in that valley with the big mountains in the background. Oh man, I love the prominence of the mountains up here in the north. Definitely look bigger than what their elevation is, and gonna get even bigger over the next 150 miles. Looking forward to it. But Prospect Rock is in the bag. Standing on the summit of Spruce Peak, all socked in, little scramble on a side trail up here. Nice little rock summit. Unfortunately, said there was nice views over there, and it's all socked in with trees, so guess not. Still beautiful though. I'm going to sit up here and eat some food before continuing on. I think Bromley Mountain is the next one. But I need some food. And Spruce Peak is in the bag. About 17 miles in for the day. About 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Still have no idea how far I'm going to go today. Doing some little ups and downs right now. And then I'll be descending to Route 11 or Route 30. I think it's both. Here in about a mile. And then it starts climbing up Bromley for the final ascent. And then about 4 miles after that is the other summit. Not a whole lot of things between those two, so I'm assuming it's like a ridge line that goes from one summit to the other, but I don't really know. It is just extremely dark in here now all of a sudden, so I don't know if a storm is coming in or not. I guess I'll find out. As I have no plan on quitting anytime soon. This might be one of those days I hike into the dark. I don't know. Feeling great. Feeling good. Pushing the body again. Only 17 miles though, like I said. So by the time I get to 25, I might be tired for the day. I don't know. But like I said, 4 o'clock, so about 4.5, 5 hours before the sun sets, before it starts to get dark. So I have plenty of time to decide what I'm gonna do, and definitely keeping an eye on the sky right now. Just crossed over Highway 11 and 30. Pretty busy highway. It's like playing Frogger. It's one of those places too that it's like on a curve, so you can't really listen to see if any cars are coming because they go so fast that you might not hear them and they still might be up on you right away. So you just try to do the best you can of looking and then running. Anyway, got to cross. There's a parking lot there. It's still sunny out, or it's sunny right now, I should say. It's been kind of going back and forth, but it's sunny, but there's some darkness up there, kind of to the south. Most of the storms today have been going to the south and going west to east, have not been coming here, so I've been lucky so far. But I was hearing thunder on this one, and I haven't heard thunder today. I could only tell from radar and the sky. So keeping my eye on it. I'm about 3 miles, less than 3 miles from the summit of Bromley, and right before Bromley is a shelter, and that's going to be about 1.25 miles now. So if it looks like it's going to storm, I'll get in that shelter, set up my tent, or stay in the shelter. That'd be about 19 or 20 miles today, which is a lot less than what I want, but that would be based on weather and the storms. If it misses and keeps going east to west, south of here, I'll keep on going and go summit Bromley, and then probably Peru after that, and probably go to that next shelter or some kind of stealth tent site after Peru Peak, I think it's called. And I think that would put me right around 26, 27 for the day. That I would like. So I'm kind of shooting for that, just as based on weather though, and what happens there. So let's continue on. All right, I have stopped for the night at Bromley Shelter, Bromley Mountain Shelter. Came off the trail to get water because it's dry for the next 8 to 9 miles. There were 2 peaks, not Peru Peak, but Styles Peak. It's in Peru Peak Wilderness. The next shelter is called Peru Peak Shelter. So I don't know if Styles Peak and Peru Peak is the same thing or not, but there's no Peru Peak that I could see. But I digress. I came off the trail here to the shelter to get some water, and it was a good 2 to 3 tents down. So when I came back up, I'm like, you know what? With the time it is now, and the fact that Bromley Peak or Bromley Mountain is quite open because it's a ski resort, I'm hoping that there's some really good views for a good sunrise in the morning. So I'm going to get really started early, around 5 or 6. So hopefully I will get some good views for sunrise. I just decided to call it a day. 20 miles today. Wanted to do a little bit more, but I'll hit plenty more tomorrow as I will be starting 2 or 3 hours earlier. So got some good platforms here for the tent. Not a big platform fan, but I do have a little bit of edge there where I can tie down the one, or some rocks around here that I can tie down the front a little bit. It's freestanding, but it's not total freestanding. It's partial freestanding, so you got to kind of pull out the front to get all the room out of it. It's not a necessity, but I like as much room as possible because it's a small tent. So I'm going to get everything set up here, get some food in me, and get an early start tomorrow, and get some summits in tomorrow with some great views. I know there's some summits tomorrow with some really great views, so I'm really excited about that. All right, it's been a great first day back. There's a little kid and a mom and dad down at the shelter, which is 1 or 2 tents down, and that kid is screaming, so this might be a fun night. Everybody have a good night, and remember, live life.